It's a start, Maddie.
Okay, good morning, students. So today we can start with that is the final module, that is an enterprise Java builds. So this is a fifth module in your subject, that is an 18 MCF 41, that is the advanced Java programming. So when you go for the enterprise Java builds, it is a combination of POJO plus annotations. We can call it as an EJB. Then what do you mean by POJO? Anybody? What do you mean by annotations? Annotation is a metadata. That is the basic data types, whatever you can using in the Java programs or any applications. Then what is POJO? Anyone? That is a plain old Java object. That is a plain old Java object and plus the combination of the metadata, that is the basic data types in Java applications. So it is equal to, we can call it as an EJB. What is EJB? Nothing but an enterprise Java builds. So we can go for the, that is a brief introduction about the Java beans, how the Java beans are developed, where the Java beans are used, what are EJBs, what are the characteristics of EJB, where the EJBs are used. It is a client side or it is a server side. So these are the brief discussion. We can see that in the later. So first we can go for the EJB is a stand for Enterprise Java Beans, and it is a very essential part of using, that is a J2EE, that is an enterprise edition platform. So it is very, very essential for using the J2EE components. And when using this platform of J2EE components, it is fully based on the architecture, what we have to provide the a multi-thread or distributed and also highly traditional features to enterprise the level of applications. So we can using the enterprise Java beans. So we can also using a distributed, robust, multi-thread, and also the some of the any transactional features we can using the EJB. So when we are using the EJB, it provides an architecture to develop the software engineers and also the deploy the component. It should be based on the enterprise application and also considering the robustness, highly scalability, and also very high performance. So in that case, we have to using these EJB applications. Then what is EJB and where it should be used? So EJB is an application we can develop on any of the application server and complete with the J2EE components with the version 1.3 of the standard specification. So this is the history, how the EJB will be developed. Then what are EJBs? So what are EJBs? EJB is nothing but an enterprise Java beans. And enterprise Java beans means it is a special kind of Java bean because it performs the server side business logic, and it is very powerful version of a regular beans when compared to the enterprise Java beans and the regular Java beans. So we have to use it in the class. So when the regular Java beans used in the class, it is not so powerful when using the application. But when we are using the enterprise Java beans application, it is use more powerful versions when used in the class. Next, that is an overview of EJB. So overview means the EJB will using as a server side component architecture. So we can specify the process of building the enterprise level distributed application in Java. So it is very important points to be remembered when we are write EJB. What is EJB? It is a server side component architecture, and we have to using to process of the building enterprise level and also the distributed application in Java. Distributed means decirculated, means that is a RMI process. What is RMI process? That is the remote method invocation. Means we have to using anywhere of application we can using as an EJB. And EJB components are deployed in EJB container of J2EE component complete application server. So maybe such as we can using J2EE components, and we can using the specific version 1.4, and we are also using as a WebLogic, and also we can using JPOS. So these are the components we have to using EJB server side component architecture. And we can go for what is JBoss? JBoss is a Java boss. And the characteristics of EJB. So three important points, that is characteristics, we can go more than. So some of the characteristics are available in EJB. So first, we already know that it is a server side component, but it hides the level of issues from the developer. So developer cannot see the EJB application when we are using the server side. And the second point, it defines a standard component architecture, that is a server side component architecture, and enables to build or the process the distributed object oriented a business application. So this is very important point of characteristics. Means it is a server side, hides this developer in the server side component, and also to enables to build a distributed object oriented business applications. And the third point, when the EJB are used to facilitate or we are creating the enterprise level applications and using a very easy to integrating with any other EJB component, and also as well as with the other component also. So it means that when using the EJB component architecture, we can easily integrate it with any other component. So another component, it may be as a servlet component, or it may be a Java server pages, or it may be a Java Beans component. So these components are easily integrated when we are using or when we are creating the enterprise level applications. And the next one, when this EJB we are using as a server side component deployed on the application server, so that we can implement for using the various technology such as EJB and the Microsoft COM and DCOM. The next point, when using the enterprise Java Beans, but it is different from the ordinary Java beans, because the ordinary Java beans, it is not similar name as when using the Sun Microsystem component, because it is based on the technology of the Sun Microsystem. And what are the example of the in the real life time these EJB applications are used? So it can be asking for in the Viva questions, or it may be using in the your interview questions will ask where the Java beans are used in the real-time systems or applications. So you can give the example that is an online sharing trading application, because every minute will be changing. That is the sharing the trade, whatever the applications are using, that is different. Every time will be changing the variables. And online reservation applications and online catalog applications and online library applications. So these are the best real life applications are used in the Java, that is an enterprise Java beans. And we can move to the then what is EJB? So we can already know that in the brief history or introduction about EJB, it is a server-side application. So EJB is an acronym for the Enterprise Java Beans. And this Enterprise Java Beans, it is specified and provided by the Sun Microsystems to develop a very secure, robust, and scalable distributed applications. So we can call it as an EJB. When we are running the EJB, so we need to run the EJB and application server. Without application server, the EJB will not execute. So we need an application server, that is an application server, we can call it as an EJB container. So in the next slides or in the next classes, we can go by what is EJB container. So EJB container is such as we are using the JBoss, that is a Java boss, Glassfish. So in the Glassfish, there is a 3 version is there, Glassfish 1, Glassfish 3 and Glassfish. And also we can using a WebLogic and a WebSphere, so etc. So these are the application server. So we have to run the EJB applications. And this EJB will perform some of the platform. So they have by using the lifecycle management, or it may be a security or transaction management. And also we are using that is object pooling. So in the next slide, we can see that what is object pooling. So when using the EJB application is developed on the server. So all the student will carefully know that. So EJB is an application will use as in the server side component. So it is called a server side component also. And EJB like a COM. What do you mean by COM? That is a component object model. So this component object model will be developed and provided by the Sun Microsystems, so that it is different from Java Beans and RMI and also the web server. In the next slide, we can see that what is RMI and what is the difference between RMI and where the EJB will using as a web service. We can see that in the next slide. So before we can go for the difference between RMI and the EJB, so first we can see that what is EJB and why it is used. So it is necessary the server side application will run by using EJB. So this is the concept we are using. So EJB means that is a Java beans are specially designed to implement the business logic of our application. So this is very important. The points to be remembered why the EJB will be used, because we have to implement in the server side application of the business logic of our application. So business logic means we can provide the service so that are oftenly needed when implementing of the logic, or such as the transaction or injecting of the entity manager. Injecting entity manager is nothing but we have to using API, that is the API persistency. So persistency of API, that is an application programming user interface in the Java. We are using the Java persistency application, nothing but an JPA. And also we are using the object to pooling of the beans. So in that case, we have to using the EJP. And the next point we see that when use enterprise Java beans. So this is very three important points to be remembered. When the necessity of using the enterprise Java beans. The first one is that is the remote access, nothing but an application needs remote access. The remote access is nothing but in the other words, we can call it as it is a distributed. The second point, this application needs to be scalable. What is mean by scalable? Means we have to balancing, or we can support the some of the process should be load and balancing, clustering, and also the fail over the EJB applications. And the third point, we can see that when using this type of application needs encapsulated the business logic. So what do you mean by business logic? Means then using the EJB application is separate from presentations and also the persistency layer. So there is a separate between the presentations and the persistency layer. So this we can encapsulate it by using the business logic of EJB application. So these are the three important points to be remembered by using any of the Viva or any of the interview questions will arise when use enterprise Java beans. So you can using one for the remote access, and we need for the scalability and encapsulated by using the business logic. So these are the three important points to be remembered when use enterprise Java beans. And next we can move to the, that is the type of enterprise Java beans. So there is a three types of Java beans we'll using in the Java. So this is very, very important in the examination of the point of view. So these the three session, that is the three types of enterprise Java beans. One is the session beans, second one is a message driven bean, and the third one is an entity bean. So these are the three types of enterprise Java beans are using. We can go by one in the deeply in the next slide. So first, what is session bean? So session beans contains a business logic, and that can be invoked by locally, remotely, or any of the web service client. So this type of session beans will be using as a Java enterprise bean. The second one is a message driven bean. So message driven beans, it's like mostly like in the session beans, but it contains business logic, but it invoked by passing the message. Just it pass the message to the one application to the another. Means that the message will be passed. That is a message driven bean. Also, we can call it as an MDB. So in the examination, will strictly ask what is MDB. And the third point, we can see that what is entity bin. So entity bin means it is encapsulated the state that can be persistency in the database, and it is deprecated and also replaced with the Java persistency API. So this encapsulated means we have to separate the persistency and also by using the database will be deprecated and replaced with any of the Java persistency API. So these are the three types of enterprise Java beans in Java. That is a session bean, message driven bean, and entity bean. And we can move for the next. That is, what is the difference between RMI and EJB? What is RMI? That is a remote method interface. Because the Java Enterprise Edition is a distributed. So distributed is nothing but we know that what is RMI. Without RMI knowledge, we cannot use as the word as distributed. So there is a difference between RMI and EJB. So both RMI and EJB provides a service to access an object running in another JVM. Means when using the RMI and EJB, the service will provide whatever the object will using in another JVM, that is a Java virtual machine. So this is, we can call it as a remote object from another JVM. So there is some of the difference between RMI and EJB are given below. When using an RMI, so we can using as a middleware service such as a security, transaction management, and also by using object pooling. So it means that we need to done by any of the Java programmer. But when we are using EJB, so EJB is a middleware service. So RMI is also middleware service, but it provides the EJB container automatically. But when using the RMI, the EJB container is not automatically, but we have to using the security type or transaction management type and also the object pooling, etc. The second one, the RMI is not a server-side component, but EJB is a server-side component. But RMI, it is not required to develop on the server side because we cannot using the RMI in the server side. But the EJB will be using as a server-side component, so it is required to develop on the server side. And third point, when using an RMI is built on the top of the socket program, whereas EJB is a technology is built on the top of RMI. So these are the three difference between that is an RMI and EJB. The next, that is the last history of EJB, that is an EJB and the web service, and what are the disadvantages of EJB. In EJB, when using as a web service, So the bean of the EJB components and the bean of the client component both are written in the Java language. So when using in the EJB component or when using the web service, so both the component will written in the Java language only. So if the bean client need to be write in any other language such as .NET or PHP, so we need to go with the web services. So web service is nothing but it may be a SOAP or it may be a REST. So but when using the EJB with the web service, we will be the better options. So this is the use of using EJB in the web service. And finally, that is a disadvantages of EJB. So there is a 3 important disadvantages of EJB. Means it requires application server. So without application server, any of the enterprise Java beans not run it. So it requires application server. So it is a one disadvantages. The second advantages, when using the EJB, it requires only the Java client. For other languages client, so we need to go for the web service. So when we can go to the EJB, so the application server requires only the Java client only. And the third point, it complex to understand and develop the EJB application. Without understanding the concept of EJB application development, so we cannot run the EJB. So these are the 3 important points to be remembered. That is the disadvantages of the EJB. Okay, today I can stop here. So tomorrow we'll start with the what is the problem domain, breakup responsibility, code concurrence. Okay. Understood? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ? Can anybody tell? ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಒಂಚೂರು ಹೇಳಿ, ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾರು ಲೀವ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಇಬ್ರು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಲೀವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Which one? 6th or 7th one? Razia, Umain?
7th one.
ಎಷ್ಟಮ್ಮ? 7th?
7th one, sir.
ಯಾವ್ದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೇಮ್? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್? ಪ್ಲಗ್ಇನ್?
Ha, sir. JSP plugin.
Okay, write a Java JSP program which use JSP plugin tag to run an applet. Applet ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವತ್ತು.
ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಇದು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ರನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೋಡೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇದಾಯ್ತಾ? 7th one ಏನಿದೆ? JSP colon include and forward.
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಅದಾಗಿದೆ.
ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಥ್ರೂ HTML and create the Java beans class and populate the bean and display the same information in the another JSP. ಇದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಇವತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ 6th one applet ಇನ್ನೊಂದು. ಎರಡು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ 8th one ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನಂಬರ್ 8, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿರೋ 6th. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ಹಲೋ,
ಇವತ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
Sir,
8 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಒಟ್ಟು 8 ಆಗತ್ತಾ?
ಹಾ, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಒಟ್ಟು 6 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು 2 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು 8 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಹಾ ಸರ್ 8 ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
ಓಕೆ, ಆಯ್ತು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ? 2:30 to 45 ಹಂಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಲಿಂಕ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ
ಹಾ
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್,
ಸರ್.
ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಜಾವಾ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್. ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಎಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅದು 13, that is the EJB application demonstrate the persistency, that is a business logic. So ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೈಪ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣ ಕೊನೆಗೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ EJB, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 11, 12, 13 ಮಾಡೋಣ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ
Okay.
ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ.